Blind and visually impaired artists are putting together a spectacular musical to raise awareness about retinal blindness. Retinal diseases vary widely, but most of them cause severe vision loss or blindness. Hosted by Retina South Africa, the event is one of the many other initiatives the organization has lined up to raise funds to find solutions to retinal blindness. Well, joining us from our Sea Point studio is Manny Moodley, the chairperson of Retina SA in the Western Cape. Manny, good to have you. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us on the show, Leanne.
So let's just get to the basics. When we talk retinal diseases, what are we referring to and how common are they?
Okay, well, the diseases or conditions that we focus on predominantly are inherited retinal disorders, which affect people at a genetic level, and these are passed on through family lines. And these conditions are becoming more and more common. It is estimated by researchers that approximately 10 million South Africans are carriers of these genetic mutations. And if, for example, two of these carriers have a child, that child has a high potential of having a retinal condition.
Yeah. Now, how common are they?
Yeah, well, that's, we would say in South Africa it's approximately 20%, so we're looking at about 10 million South Africans carriers. So, I mean, it varies from condition to condition, but globally there's quite a high instance of retinal blindness.
So, I mean, the reality is there's no cure for this kind of illness, but there is effective treatment, correct?
Well, at the moment there's no cure as such, but we work locally with researchers at UCT and internationally as well with researchers all over the world, and we are trying to find treatments and cures for these conditions. There's a lot of interesting medical innovations and progression that has come about during the last 10 years or so, and we're talking about treatments such as stem cell treatment, gene therapy, gene editing, optogenetics, and these sort of positive medical breakthroughs that are getting us quite close to bringing really fruitful treatments and cures for these conditions.
Who would you say is the most vulnerable when it comes to these retinal diseases?
Well, it can affect anyone, and that's the scary part of it. It can affect young, old, any race group. It affects people across the board. So some of these conditions occur later in life, such as age-related macular degeneration, and some occur very early in life, such as Leber congenital amaurosis, which affects people from the age of 3 years old. So it can affect anyone. It doesn't discriminate at all.
Yeah, certainly, I imagine. What about it being hereditary? Is that also something to look at?
Yeah, so it is genetic in nature and does pass through the family lines. However, this it doesn't necessarily mean that someone in your family would be affected by it. It could be a recessive mode of inheritance where you have a family with no affected people, and suddenly you find a child having a retinal condition. That is the case with myself. I am partially sighted myself, and there's no one else affected in my family. But it's a recessive form of inheritance. Yeah. So my parents are carriers of this genetic mutation that causes an inherited retinal disorder.
So on the note of all of this, what we began talking about at the beginning of the interview is the fact that you're putting together a spectacular musical, and that is all basically to raise awareness. Talk to us a little bit more about this.
Yeah, so we, as you mentioned at the top of the show, we try to raise awareness, and we raise funds for trying to promote and the progression of this research into treatments and cures for these genetic conditions. So we have various fundraisers throughout the year. Nationally, we have our Discem Ride for Sight, and in the Western Cape we have a few throughout the year, but now we're coming up to our flagship fundraiser, if you will, and that is the Rip Genes 2018 music concert. And basically the concept of this concert is to raise awareness of these retinal conditions, and also try to raise some funds to put towards the research for treatments and cures. And the concept is that a lot of the artists, we try for 50% or more of the artists or performers to be either blind or partially sighted themselves. So thereby creating a bit of awareness and promoting blind and partially sighted artists as well. We do have sighted artists and performers joining them on stage, and it's quite a variety type show with a little bit of something for everyone, so you can bring the whole family along. And I think that's our main aim with this concert, to try and raise a bit of awareness, promote togetherness and unity, and try and raise some funds to cure and treat retinal blindness.
Wonderful. So this is happening on the 28th of November at the Artscape Theatre.
Yes.
Ticket sales are open right now, and just a stunning. It's in the evening, I imagine.
Yeah, no, it's 7:30 on the 28th of November.
Great.
And it is, it's quite a variety, a good mix of people coming through, and we're really looking forward to it. We are trying to bring this on as an annual event. So what we always try and promote is sponsors to come on board and join us and assist us in this production each year. And this year we have Artscape, who have come on board and are hosting us. So we're very grateful to them. And the Democracy of Denim as well has come on board as a sponsor, which we're very grateful for.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're trying to make this an annual event, and hopefully it'll be a mainstay in years to come.
Fantastic. Well, we wish you the best of luck. Thanks so much for talking to us about this and raising awareness about all forms of retinal diseases. So if you are wanting to do something on the 28th of November, get down to the Artscape Theatre in Cape Town, book your tickets. It's for the Ripped Genes 2018 music concert, and you can get your tickets. So a great lineup of big name artists, as well as those that are very much so visually impaired, that are going to be talking about awareness and also doing music for you. So it should be a fantastic evening.